Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
Hi, and welcome back to Realistic Sustainability Educational Shorts. Sometimes you get an opportunity to do something you just can't quite pass up. And that's what happened to me this week when Rob Boggan from the Curated Culture decided he wanted to host a Q&A on sustainability and asked me to be, well, the A portion of that Q&A. Of course, there is zero chance that I can say no to that. First of all, I love the Curated Culture. Second of all, I love sustainability. So that's what we did. We created a whole town hall Q&A for sustainability. Now, that whole town hall thing, that was like over an hour long. So what you're going to get here is heavily edited shorts over the next 7 weeks. Yep, we created a 7-part series with little clips from that town hall. I really did enjoy answering those questions for Rob. Later, you'll be able to see more on YouTube as those videos get released. So I hope you enjoy these as much as I did. Here is my Sustainability Q&A Town Hall featuring Rob Boggan of the Curated Culture, Part 2.
So we touched on what our individual roles are when it comes to sustainability. Now, what are some small things that we all could do to reduce our footprint?
Well, you won't like the first answer, and that is learn sustainable thinking, because everybody wants this laundry list of items that they can just follow and it's all better. But it's really a cultural change. It's a difference in how we handle everyday life. I don't mean an inconvenience. I don't mean it's even all that challenging. It's just changing how you look at things. When you talk about sustainable thinking, you're talking about, do I need to buy that today? I'm hungry. I could make something from here at home, or I could drive somewhere. Where are these decisions? Are you living good? Are you living a little leaner? I promise you, if you live a sustainable life, you will be happier, because at the end of your life, it's not this mountain of stuff you bought that's around you, but these experiences. Because if you want to reduce your footprint, you experience more and buy less. You walk more, you ride bikes more, you talk to your community more, you are around all these people. Your life is enriched. So now, the answer that you actually asked and probably expected the answer to be, continue to practice recycling. Don't stop it because you hear all the news saying they don't actually recycle. There's a reason why we practice. Continue to wash out your plastics, aluminums, and glass and put them in the recycle bin and send them off. Yep, large chunks are still going to the landfill, but there will come a time where that won't happen and we will be ready. The next thing is reduce your meat intake. I know everybody hates to hear that, but do we really need more than 4 to 6 ounces? I'm not saying you have to get rid of it all. I'm saying if we collectively reduce it, that changes things tremendously. Now, there are people out there who have just gotten rid of meat, and kudos to you. I am not that person yet. I am still working to reduce to the best of my ability. You want to walk, ride bikes, drive cars less. You want to carpool more. If you have that opportunity, you do it. Instead of all those times Nick and I used to record the podcast, we would literally drive 3 blocks. Neither of us are small men. We can walk the 3 blocks. And we started doing that. Before COVID, we were walking the 3 blocks to go record, and we should, because you pass people on the street, you're part of the community. You came to town with me not horribly long ago, and we had several people walk up to us and say hi. You just have to be out there. It's a mental, cultural change that is most important.
So last year in 2020, our lives changed forever for the worse. I can't really say for the better at all. We were struck by COVID-19, a pandemic that is still wreaking havoc on society across the world. And it's affected so many lives in so many different ways. Most notably, though, it has affected how people approach the idea of sustainability. We're all wearing masks, especially now, but in the early onset, it was masks, it was disposable gloves. We were all aerosol spraying everything with disinfectants and using the Clorox wipes that kind of sit in landfills forever. Has COVID-19 ruined any progress that we've made in terms of sustainability?
Well, I know what you're saying, and you're absolutely correct. There's a mountain of single-use items out there. We have, in the last year, greatly increased the amount of single-use. I have. There was no getting around it. If you wanted to be around people, you separately wrapped everything. We had an event outside at my home, but in order for everybody to be there, we had a mask for everyone. They all had their own hand sanitizer, all these little individually wrapped things. So when you're talking about that, yeah, that's killing me. But I can't say that it has ruined. That word is very strong. It has not ruined all the progress. Matter of fact, for a minute there, we made progress. Not only did we drive less, everybody spent less. Plants all over the world shut down. We could physically see the difference from NASA satellites in our air quality. So anybody who has a question, does human actions change planetary climate? We actually have a year's worth of data to physically show the difference. Wildlife came back into our cities. They were wandering around because we weren't there. It doesn't take very long for us to not be there for everything else to come back. There was even open dialogue about sustainability because there's connections between climate and viruses. For a minute there, we were talking and we were making progress. That was all before political hijacking of narratives, which I've always found hilarious. We're talking about a true science issue. I have never logged into C-SPAN and watched them argue over Newton's laws of motion. I have never seen political debates at podiums talking about the laws of thermodynamics. So to me, that's all foreign. It's so weird to even think about it. But for a minute there, we were making a little more progress, actually, even though we were using more of these single use. And I can't say it was tremendously more globally, but it was certainly more. But no, all these other things went away and we were starting to make that progress. And we still can, don't get me wrong. COVID offered us an idea of what life would be if it was different. No one likes the word different. They automatically assume worse. And when it comes to COVID-19, things are worse than they were prior. But it allows us to look and see. For example, I work from home now. I used to drive 48 minutes when traffic was good to get to work as an engineer. I don't do that now. And I won't do that probably ever again. We learned that life could be different, which means all the facilities that we have in Michigan, most of them are shut down. We're still doing our job, but we've greatly reduced the carbon footprint of the company, even though everything is so different. COVID did offer some of those aspects. So I can never say that it's actually ruined progress. It has certainly changed the scope of how we look at some things, but it certainly hasn't ruined sustainability in its progress. Thank you so much for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend or post it on social media. If you'd like to do a little more for realistic sustainability, you can become a monthly sustainer for as little as 99 cents a month on our Anchor site, or you can find out more on greeningyourlife.org/podcast. If you don't want to do that, that's okay. One of the biggest things that you can do to help the show is leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. That really does help way more than you think. Thank you so much again for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Feeling overwhelmed by climate change? Looking for sustainable and ethical brands to support? That Ethic is perfect for you. Ethyk is a simple browser extension that helps you find sustainable and ethical brands online. Learn more at ethyk.org, ethyk.org.